Hi guys, it's Thommo and welcome to another one of my Marvel recaps as we slowly make our way towards Captain America Civil War. This week we're at the disappointing stage of Marvel's long stint where we reach Jon Favreau's sequel to Iron Man 2. And as I said, it was a very disappointing entry into the MCU in 2010. Especially after the beginning of the Iron Man series and the promise that it gave us. So following Tony Stark revealing to the world that he is indeed Iron Man, the sequel sees the Russians getting involved and Mickey Rourke's character, Ivan Vanko, making his own arc reactor and turning into the villainous Whiplash and joining forces with Sam Rockwell's Justin Hammer, who is actually Tony Stark's rival, and the pair of those pairing together and looking to take down Stark and indeed Iron Man. Now, Iron Man 2 is one of those films that it had its moments. Certainly, there were some really decent moments, which I'll talk about in a moment. But ultimately, this is a very, very frustrating sequel, especially following the promise of the first film. I think the first thing we can talk about is the fact that the villains in this film are very, very weak. I think, of course, Mickey Rourke is a very, very good actor. We saw that in The Wrestler. When it comes to playing a villain in a superhero movie, it doesn't quite cut the mustard. And I think Whiplash is one of those really throwaway villains that the series really could have done without. And the same for Justin Hammer as well, especially as Sam Rockwell is one of those really underrated actors out there. He's got a lot of charisma, which he does show in this film. That's undeniable, but it just doesn't fit together as a jigsaw. I think there's a lot of missed opportunities in this film as well, mainly down to the fact that Jon Favreau throws in the fact that Tony Stark has a problem with drink, and we see that in a certain scene where Rhodey actually goes up against him, but it just doesn't evolve into something that could really be of great significance to the character, because in the comics it is a massive part of Tony Stark and it's almost brushed over in this really mediocre sequel. And also, talking of mediocrity, the action scenes within the film, I think its predecessor is definitely more well-versed in presenting its action sequences. This feels, once again, very, very messy. It feels kind of all over the shot. I don't think the action sequences, other than towards the end, they're just not well executed. And I don't think, when you look back at these Marvel films, it's one of those ones that's particularly memorable, in all fairness. But that being said, it has got its moments. I think it's certainly a better film when certain other characters come into play. It introduces Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, which is probably the best thing about this film. She is brilliant in every scene that she's in. She commands the action sequences. There's a brilliant moment in the film where her and Happy are taking down Justin Hammer's men, and there's some really good feats of heroism from her. And ultimately, she's one of the great characters within the Avengers that a lot of people love. And for her just to come into Iron Man 2 and essentially make it her own, I think that is something that we can really take away and thank Jon Favreau for. And I also think, in terms of building the foundations of the MCU, Iron Man 2 is quite strong. We have Nick Fury in there following his cameo at the end of The Incredible Hulk. And we also delve further into Tony Stark's past and his father, and the fact that he was a massive part of S.H.I.E.L.D., which that is obviously built upon in Captain America, but it's really nice for the kind of stepping stones to be thrown in there. And I think that is where Iron Man 2 sets itself apart, in the fact that it does look to build this universe slowly but surely. But ultimately, I think the whole picture is that this is one of the weaker Marvel films in the whole catalogue. And lest we forget the post-credit scenes in which Agent Phil Coulson comes in. Everyone loves a bit of Coulson. And the fact that he mentions about Thor, hence laying some more foundations for the next film in the series. So that concludes my third recap into the Marvel Universe, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of Iron Man 2. Am I a bit too critical, or is it one of those films that you could easily eliminate from the MCU and move on to the next one? So it'd be really great to hear your thoughts. As ever, if you could put a thumbs up for this video, I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be doing these every single week up until the release of Captain America Civil War, which is going to be amazing. And as always, until the next time, take care.